Good afternoon, guys. How are we doing?
Yeah, we're really well back here, and we're quite excited about this one. But obviously, you know AJ well. Is this a good fight for him to take at the stage of his career?
Absolutely. Listen, I think this is a no-brainer for Anthony Joshua, really. You know, he's coming off the back of 2 losses to Alexander Usyk. And it's like it's a gift from the heavens, really. You know, he's got the chance to fight Tyson Fury, the WBC champion, lineal heavyweight champion, and the guy that everyone regards as the number 1 in the division. So Anthony Joshua gets that opportunity. And I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago about this and said, listen, if he's offering a 60-40 split with a 50-50 split, if you win that fight, I said that's a no-brainer. That's a really good deal on the table, and you get the opportunity for the fight that we all want to see, which is Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. You know, this has been sort of 3 years plus in the making, and we get it out of nowhere, really. So, you know, I think it's a bonus for boxing fans, but also a gift for Anthony Joshua to get himself back up to the top.
Look, Spencer, you said it there, though. If you win this fight, OK, what if he doesn't win this fight? What happens to AJ then?
Well, it's back to the drawing board. It's then down to Anthony Joshua to decide what he wants to do. Does he want to continue in the sport? Does he want to go through that rebuilding process? Because it's a long road back. So, it is a big gamble for Joshua. But listen, he's a two-time heavyweight champion of the world. He's an Olympic gold medalist, a world silver medalist. He's done it all. So he's only craving the big fights now. And what bigger fight could you get than Tyson Fury? And like I say, it's sort of come out of nowhere. And it was an opportunity. The other option that he had was to take a couple of warm-up fights and look to try and get back in there with Alexander Usyk, or the winner of Usyk versus Tyson Fury. Alexander Usyk has decided he's not ready for the fight in December with Fury, so Fury's offered it to Joshua. So out of nowhere, we get the fight that we've always wanted to see, and that's Joshua versus Fury. I mean, that's a massive fight, and I think it's a fight that everybody still wants to see.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree with you, but I know that there will be those doubters. There will be those doubters that are saying, look, AJ's career is already over. What's going on here?
Of course there is. That's common that people do that. You know, it's human nature that people will do that. Anthony Joshua's lost 2 fights. The career's over. If he loses again, he's going to lose to Fury easily. Well, listen, styles make fights, and I think that Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua is a lot closer fight than a lot of people give it credit for. Forget that Joshua's just lost to Alexander Usyk twice. That last fight, up until the 9th round, was all evens. I think Usyk won the fight going into the 10th round. He won the last few rounds, and he ran out a clear winner. But Joshua give it a real go there. So he's in good form going into this one. He doesn't need warm-up fights. He's had a good 12-rounder. He didn't get beaten up. So he'll be in good condition to fight, December the 3rd. I think it's a great opportunity for Anthony Joshua. And it's all about legacies and eras, of this time. The era of this time. We need to see the best fighting the best. And this is a fight that we thought was possibly never going to get to see, but now we've got the opportunity for it. Like I say, it's about legacies, and people like Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, they all need to fight each other to create, to become the number 1 of that modern era. So it's important that we get this fight.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I want to see it for sure. But look, not so long ago, Fury was, of course, asking for $500 million to fight Usyk in Saudi. With that in mind, do you think this is going to be quite complicated to get this contract actually finalised? Because we were hearing from Johnny saying, the funny thing with boxing is that, this is where the talking begins. Once they've kind of agreed it, this is where the contract gets ironed out.
Well, absolutely. Listen, the contract is quite plain and simple. Anthony Joshua has agreed to all the terms and conditions that Tyson Fury has pushed over, and that's a 60-40 split. And if Joshua wins, they go for the rematch, an immediate rematch at 50-50. So 60-40 split is generous anyway. And now it's down to the broadcasters where it goes, because Tyson Fury's with BT Sport, Anthony Joshua's now with DAZN, so they'll probably do a joint venture where it's shown on both platforms, and we'll see where it goes from there. As it stands, I think that the front runners is Wembley and Cardiff. They're the 2 venues that I'm hearing are the front runners at the moment. But the Saudis have got a big appetite for fights as well. They bought the Alexander Usyk Anthony Joshua rematch last time out, and it was a big success out there. So who knows where the fight will go? One can guarantee is that it will be on December the 3rd. It's a fight that we've all wanted to see, and it's a fight that needs to happen, for this modern era of boxing.
A little bit, but I'm going to carry on for a bit if we can. Does it have to take place in the UK, though, for you?
For me, I would love it to take place in the UK because I think this is the biggest British fight of all time, of boxing history. So I think it's a fight that needs to take place in the UK. I'd love to see it at where, but that's somewhere I'd love to see it. But, you know, Cardiff is another option as well, but I'd love to see it in Britain for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Look, you talked about the fact that, you know, he potentially could have taken another fight before taking on Fury. Where do you stand on that? Do you think, in terms of he should have kind of waited and taken a couple of good fights and then kind of built up to this? Do you think this might be one step too far?
Anthony Joshua not taking those warm-up fights to go into this one. You know, when I heard that he was offered this fight with Tyson Fury come out and offered him the fight, I said, listen, you've got to go for it. It's a no-brainer. Like, forget the warm-up fights. You know, the apprentice looking to become a three-time heavyweight champion. Who better to try it against than Tyson Fury, who himself has carved out an unbelievable legacy, and for him to, him to cement his legacy, he needs to box Anthony Joshua. So I think it's a no-brainer for both parties. Joshua doesn't need warm-up fights. I think it was, great opportunity, and I think, yeah, definitely he should go for it.
Spencer, it's really hard to hear you, and I know you always talk brilliant stuff, so I'm going to have to end it there. So sorry about that, but thank you, Spencer, for joining us. I think we pretty much got the gist of this. It is going to be an awesome fight if indeed it takes place on December the 3rd.